Hey, it's Victoria, and you are now listening to the Pass Rush Podcast with your host, DJ Clennon.
Welcome to the Pass Rush Podcast. It's your host, DJ Clennon, as you already know. Now, Colorado should have won the football game yesterday. They lost against number 21 ranked Arizona 34-31, but the lack of execution is why Colorado continues this 4-game losing streak that they've been on, because they're shooting themselves in the foot every single time. But before I dive deep into the game and break it down as we usually do, I want to say happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys have done. I wish you guys many more, and I'm really happy that you're deciding to spend some of your celebration weekend with me, so I very much appreciate that. So let's go ahead and break down the performances as we usually do. Shedeur Sanders, I think he played well. I think there were some plays where he held the ball too long, trying to extend some plays that were dead. You live to fight another down. You throw the ball away. You move on. You don't take any hits. But he's a risk taker. He's a high risk, high reward type of player, and because of that, you live and die by some of those things that he decides to do. So I think he still played well. He didn't have any turnovers, no fumbles. He commanded the offense really strongly. I think it was a solid performance by him. When you move on to the running back play, I like that in the beginning of the game, Colorado tried to establish the run game. I don't know what happened in the second half. Of course, you gotta get impatient with the process of taking 3 yards here, 2 yards there. But in the first half, you gave the threat that you would at least run the ball, but your leading rusher was Shedeur Sanders. Outside of him, the attempts for the leader was 7. You want to have a running back get at least 12, 13, 14, 15 carries to really understand how the defense is attacking the run fit and get comfortable back there. A thing that I see Colorado is doing is they're running a 3-headed monster situation where you have Wilkerson, Hankerson, and Edwards all back there trying to, get the run game going. So next year I would love to see, or even at some point the rest of this year, I don't know if it's going to happen, just Coach Prime and the team become comfortable with their run game and establishing it. I know they don't have a lot of confidence in it now, but it is what it is. You understand that next year you have to make that a thing. So they all good with that. I just would like to see one running back stay in and get more, but the way that they built the offense is the way they built the offense. So, you respect that. When you get to the wide receiver play, it was a couple big drops in there, like Weaver dropping one on third down, but that didn't really cost the game, right? Like, you really understand that happening was just
shit. Here we go again.
Them getting in their own way, but the opportunity to still win the game was still there. So you won't blame that solely on that. You just understand that going forward, you got to have that concentration and not drop some of those balls. But wide receiver play was solid. Weaver and Travis Hunter was about 20, 30 yards away from 100 yards receiving. So, you live and die with that performance from your wide receivers. When you get to the offensive line, by far their best performance all year. Thank you, offensive line, for the performance. I don't know what happened, the last few weeks on what they finally did to, get their confidence up, but allowing only 3 sacks, 2 of them being from Shedeur trying to extend the plays. You can live with that. I think you live with the performance from the offensive line. Please, let's just end the last 2 games with that same type of momentum. Love it. I think that was solid. That performance was needed. Thank you so much, offensive line, for coming to play against number 21 ranked Arizona. I cannot thank you guys enough for that performance. Okay, you move on to the defense. I like the defensive lineup. I just think the consistency of the execution is falling on those shoulders of those players to understand, like, we complement each other We just have to trust that who's designed to make this play makes this play. Right now, their best lineup is Jordan Dominic, McNeil, 55, 33, Bentley, Trevor Woods, Simon Craig playing the nickel, Travis Hunter, Ward at safety, Shallow at safety, Cormani. That is a solid lineup, okay? McNeil had his best performance all year, without a doubt. 55 played well. Jordan Dominic continues to rise his draft stock. The issue is that the consistency of their performance up front. 33 did a play that cost him and I think hurt his confidence the rest of the game. Just my opinion from watching and playing that position, right? 33, on that third down, you had that third down where Arizona got stopped and he hit the quarterback, getting the roughing the passer. They get the ball back again and they score on the next play. 33, I've been in that position so many times. I know that it's hard to stop your momentum for one. And number two, not hit the quarterback. When you see an open lick on them, you just want to tear it up, right? I understand. But situational awareness here, as a player, you know that if it's third down, you don't want to be the one to cost y'all getting off the field. In that case, he was. It went on to hurt the rest of his game. A lot of those big runs end up on his side of the field going forward. He's playing on the same side as Cormani. Cormani's not a good tackler yet. He's not the confident player he will be yet. And then you have Shallow back there. Shallow was the leading tackler for the game. You're following, you kind of see why. Bentley was on that side sometimes as well, right? So you have 33 and Bentley are supposed to play off of each other, where if Bentley, whether you're spilling or funneling, either way, if you're funneling, you want 33 to take the outside to contain the edge, funnel the run right back into Bentley. Boom, Bentley's right there in that C gap or B gap to drill the runner. If you're spilling, you want 33 to go inside and for the running back to Coleman to make it outside, and you got Shallow and Bentley coming over the top. And Bentley will take on either the puller, the fullback, tight end, whoever, and Shallow makes the final hit. Whichever way you're running your defense as far as run fit, that confidence on that side, it has to just be better. I think Bentley messed up some of his run fits, where sometimes you will see him go to the same gap as 33, allowing them just to block themselves, and that big run takes effect. There was a time where Cormani tried to go after Coleman, tried to hit him in the legs, but he just ain't got enough behind him to really make nobody, that running back got big legs, good balance, good center of gravity. Somebody we'll see on Sundays. It's really hard. I think while I'm on that topic, I just commend Cormani, though, for the work that he's put in this year to understand that you cannot be that same player in high school, and you can't get away with the same stuff you could in high school, and to finally buckle down and say, hey, I believe in what they're telling me. They're not telling me nothing wrong. I'm going to buy in. I'm going to do my thing. And this starting job been mine. I just been in the way. All right? It's been mine. I just been in the way.
If you tell me you don't want this, I won't hold you accountable to this. Coach Mathis just told me a great story. Coach Mathis, tell the story you just told me in the cafeteria about one of our players.
Cormani. Yesterday, they had the race, right? So Cormani was on the Bench's side. So when Bench lost, everybody had to run. And some folks that was on that side, they didn't run. And he got up there and ran that gas. He didn't get off to the side, none of that stuff. Like early in the year, he would have went off to the other side and just not ran his gas. But he got over there and ran that gas and ran it all. He's grown so much, man, and I'm proud of you, bro. Because I was on your ass.
He finally decided to want it, and he played well. I think he can benefit as well as Travis Hunter can benefit next year of gaining about 10 pounds. They gain about 10 pounds next year. I think they're a force to be reckoned with, not only on the defense, but in the run game as a whole. They just need that. Like Cormani and Travis Hunter are so small. body frame wise, where Travis Hunter will need that weight to be able to take the pounding, of course, at the next level. And Cormani just needs it to be able to jam those big receivers that they struggle with so far. Like, Colorado's weakness is themselves.
Coincidence? I think not.
And big receivers. Like, that's the weaknesses that they have. And just the number one thing right now is we're so close to being a good football team, but we're so far because we're pulling ourselves back, right? Where you have just players costing the team at the wrong time. You just can't tolerate that type of thing. The game shouldn't have been as close as it was. Colorado should have won the game, but those penalties like that really messed them up.
Coincidence? I think not.
If Colorado would have played a clean football game, they win that game by 10 points. I think they win by at least 10, a touchdown and a field goal, if they play a clean game. If Mata doesn't even miss that field goal, you got 34-34, and we see what happens in overtime. So it's really just about shooting your foot, not taking advantage of all the opportunities that are out there. And that's just been the case these last 4 games that spiraled to this point where you look at what you have going on and you just get in your own way. And it's so tough to watch continuously because, like, they're better and that they're a good football team. What you're seeing out there is performance, but it's tough even as a fan. Now, when you move on to the last 2 games, right, there's still a chance for Colorado to be bowl eligible. That's the big goal that I had, and I'm sure many others have, for them this year, to just be bowl eligible, make a bowl, and let's see what next year brings. After that, I think that Washington State is a winnable game, and so is Utah, if Colorado can play a clean football game. Coach Prime said it, and I'm going to say it too, that they have not played one game where for the full game it was clean. That's where they need to finish the year off with. I think if you get one clean football game, whether it's Washington State or Utah, you get one really clean football game where the offense does what it needs to do, the defense does what it needs to do, and the special teams does what it needs to do, and you don't have more than 3 penalties for the whole game, 3-4 penalties for the whole game, right? And that's even high, but I'm just being realistic. 3-4 penalties for the whole game, right? You can show the recruits, this is what Colorado football is. This is why you should come here. This is why we're a future championship team. This is why everything else you would want to say. Because you can have something on film that you can showcase that this is us where we need to be. This is Coach Prime's football. You give the recruits all that sense that you know what we're missing. Love to see them win these last 2 games and be bowl eligible. But to be realistic, if I can just see them play one full football game, even if they don't even win, that game and they just play cleanly, you can take so much from that into the next season. That's an 8-win football team minimum next year. So that's what I love to see from Colorado just going forward. But it's your host, DJ Clinton of the Pass Rush Podcast. You let me know what you feel about Colorado's football team. I do read some of the comments. I know some people are done. They think Colorado sucks. They think I'm wasting my time talking about the topic still. Hey, it is what it is. I like to see things through, my boy. I'm going to see things through, and I'm going to continue Colorado the rest of this season. But again, sack the like button on your way out. Sack the subscribe button. Sack everything. You like videos like this? Sack everything. And I'm out of here. See ya.
Wait, but I shake the room.